Ready to start? Welcome, brothers and sisters.
Hi.
We're going to do the article on the called the trial, and I think this is part of the capstone of our mindset, and it's opened so many doors that we weren't aware of, but now we've become aware so much more of what Yahusha, how he wants us to behave and react to him. And we found this, well, I found this old song from the 70s that it's actually some of the scriptures I put up. Mark's just going to go through it now, so I hope you enjoy it.
Count it all joy, wanting nothing, perfect and in time, wanting nothing. Count it all joy, count it all joy, count it all joy, wanting nothing, perfect and in time, wanting nothing. Count it all joy, count it all joy. We've been made more than conquerors, overcomers in this life. We've been made victorious through the blood of Yahushua. We've been made more than conquerors, overcomers in this life. We've been made victorious through the blood of Yahushua. Through the blood of
Yo.
Nice song. Put some more work into that. Beautiful. Just among ourselves.
And then?
So what were you saying? It was a capstone.
I think so.
Yeah. I love it. I want to make this one of our main articles on the website. Because remember, we went from the understanding people to listening to people to not judging people, loving, humble, that was the other word, and loving. And I think this caps it all off because it all culminates in this one isn't how you treat other people, this is how you treat Yahusha and how you behave inside yourself. Anyway, the word is trial, and in the Hebrew the word trial is to test, especially metals, to investigate, examine, prove, tempt, try or trial, to fix upon by agreement or appointment, to meet at a stated time, to summon, to trial, to direct in a certain quarter or position, to engage for marriage, agree, make an appointment, a time, assemble selves, betroth, gather selves or together, meet together, set a time, a testing of men, judicial or of Elohim, querulous, temptation, trial, a run, the trial of speed, run a race.
That's just the Hebrew explanation in the Hebrew language. Yeah.
Yeah. I think those candlesticks are there in front of the head.
Yeah.
Sorry, Joe.
All right.
Sorry.
Down there. I forgot about that.
So that's from the Hebrew. The scripture understanding is James 1. Blessed is the man who does endure trial, for when he has been proved, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Master has promised to those who love him. Blessed is the man who does endure trial, because when he's been proved, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Master has promised to those who love him. 1 Peter 4 says, Beloved ones, do not be surprised at the fiery trials that is coming upon you, to test you, as though some unusual matter has befallen you. That was a good one, I like that. It's almost got a hint of sarcasm in it. James 1. My brothers, count it all joy when you fall into various trials, knowing that the proving of your belief works endurance. Proving of your belief works endurance. And let endurance have a perfect work, so that you be perfect and complete. Straight out of the words here, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So that's a scripture understanding. When we look at these instructions from Yahusha, we can see that we are going to be put to trial, simply because we made a commitment to follow him, and he takes us at our word. Yahusha is going to test our belief, and he says, don't be surprised at the fiery trials that is upon you, or count it all joy when you fall into various trials. We are told that the proving of our belief works endurance, and that we should let it happen so that we become perfect, mature, and complete. By doing this behaviour and having these attitudes towards our trials, we show our trust in the Master by showing him we are willing to be surprised and not take offences. That was good. Of course, those who complain about the situations have too much concern for their own reputations and miss the mark. Maybe complainers will take a longer time to be obedient and will have to endure longer to pass the test.
The ice machine.
That's the coffee machine. It's not the ice, it's always the coffee.
Yeah.
Take a break. Take a break.
So, those who complain about the situation have too much concern for their own reputation and miss the mark. Maybe complainers will take a longer time to be obedient and they'll have to endure longer to pass the test, or maybe they just won't make the grade. Do you count all your trials as joy and then stay in that joy? Do you?
Do you?
Do you?
No.
Do you?
No, not always. Thank you.
No, not at all. That's why this is an amazing word. This blew me away because I'd forgotten all about that scripture, the one I commented on before. Don't be surprised at the fiery trial as though something unusual is happening. Don't be surprised. This is just normal. You're going to have trials.
How do you get into a trial?
You get put in it.
What did Satan realise when he was kicked out of heaven? He didn't even know he was kicked out, did he?
No.
When he hit earth, then he realised he'd been expelled. Yahusha booted him out. Okay, so how do you get into a trial? It's written in the scripture.
Do not be surprised at the fiery trial that is coming upon you. How do you get into it? It comes upon you.
No.
To prove you.
It's in one of those three scriptures.
When you fall into various trials.
So how do you get into a trial?
You fall into it.
So what does that mean to you?
Disobedience.
It implies,
I think disobedience.
it implies a consequence.
Does it?
That's
it's saying to me that you've been disobedient, so therefore Yahusha's going to give you a trial. You've repented, said you're sorry, so then he's going to put you through the trial to make sure that you are
Say it again.
true to
Say it
what you're
again.
saying. So you've done something, you've repented,
Yeah.
you said sorry, basically Yahusha's going to test you, put you through a trial in order to ensure that you are being honest and truthful to him.
I would say that's an old way of thinking, like we used to think that.
Okay.
So if you can, because Yahusha's much more gracious than that. So if you can push that aside, what else would you come up with? How do you get into a trial?
Well, then Satan's putting you through the trial to see if you'll
No,
waver.
it doesn't say Satan, it
It
says
you
Yahusha's
fall.
going to do it. So it's got nothing
You
to do
fall
with it.
into it.
You fall into a trial. So what does that mean? Are you guilty?
Yes.
We have to have a new way of thinking with this. Are you guilty if you fall into a trial?
No.
If you look at Hebrews 12, yeah, he's going to do that to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is different. It's further down the path when you pass that test and you understand when if you're going to get flogged or goaded, you understand that and you know, oh, well, that's my fault, I did that. So you can reason with that and work it out and say sorry and get back on track. But this one says, you fall, he's going to test you. Does it mean you're guilty and wrong?
No.
Well, not really.
Not
So
necessarily.
how do you look at it now?
Well, we
But
can
you're going to have trials. Trials are going to come on you, and you're falling into it. You're in a trial, but he wants us to have joy in that trial.
How do you get into the trial?
Falling into it.
So all of a sudden Satan woke up, I'm on earth. I'm not in the throne room. I'm out.
You fell into it.
But this is a different thing to that. I'm in a trial. So what do you do from then? You realise you're in a trial. What's he want from us?
a response, and the response is joy.
Well, what does it say in the scriptures
He
you
wants
have
us
to
to
do when you're in a
endure.
trial?
Endure.
That's
He
right.
wants you to endure
So it doesn't mean you're guilty. So you
the
can
trial.
forget about that other way of thinking. You've come through, you know when he's doing the Hebrews 12 on us, but you come through here, bang, you're in a trial.
Yeah.
And our response is very important to Yahusha, isn't
Yes.
it? They don't preach this, they don't tell the people, they don't give people their freedom and their liberty
Yeah.
to be able to think in the Spirit.
Yeah.
So you didn't, it's not your fault that you're in the trial, you're just in it. So what did he want from Job? What did he say to Satan about Job? Check this bloke out.
Yeah.
You won't get him to
Test him.
go against me.
You won't complain. Yeah, that's it. That's a trial,
And
isn't it?
there's Job scraping the pus out of his sores with an old bit of pot,
Yeah.
enduring the physical pain.
Yeah.
And it says to count the trials that you have with,
Joy.
Joy.
go through it with joy because you know him. You're not going to change your mind about him. Nothing that's going to happen to you is going to change your mind. This is the witness he wants on earth, does he not?
Yes.
And you've got to go through it with joy.
Yeah.
What do you think? Come on.
Different. I just never thought of it like that. But
Dingy
then,
doggy.
no, you've got to recognise that it's a trial.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you go into the soup and you get all lost and confused and angry,
Not
and
too loud, I turn.
Sorry about
Yeah, go on.
you just get really you get stressed because this is coming on you, and you think, what have I done, and where am I, or all that sort of thing. So
Go on. Yeah.
you get stressed. You've got to recognise that it's a trial. That's the main thing. You've got to recognise that you're going through a trial.
So, when you look at it, what have you guys been doing? What have you actually been behaving?
Complaining.
What have you been doing?
The same thing you were doing for the years as well, Christopher.
We all
Did you
were
like a
doing
fan
it.
as well?
I'm hot.
Did you, oh yeah, what are you making? Come on.
Now,
Speaks to
this is very nice,
It
Mark.
speaks to
Tell me what's happening.
It just speaks.
Well, what's your answer? No, you're not. How can you
It's
be in
blown me
trouble?
away. This word has blown me away completely.
Yeah, well, you didn't know this part, did you?
Not at all.
It just came to me then.
Yeah. Didn't know any of it.
I just heard you.
Yeah.
My Mickey Mouse here. What'd you say?
There you go, now you got it.
You've got to be
For real.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah, I completely lost track of that scripture completely. I thought, oh, this is what
What are
he
you
wants you to
making?
stand in the. He wants you to
What
stand.
are you
with-
making?
What am I making?
I completely lost
Oh
track of that
look!
scripture.
Oh look! I thought.
We all have, Mark.
never
We
knew
all
what
have. That's
it
why it's the capstone.
Yeah.
You know?
I've never saw it this way before. I counted all joy. Yeah, okay, we've got to have joy while we're going through
Well, that's a
trials.
pretend joy, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's a.
you endure and you just put up with and you go along with everything, but this is different.
No, because you're going to fall into a trial,
Yeah.
and he's going to test what? What is he going to test you for? What's he going to test?
Endurance.
Your
Trust.
belief.
Your
Trust,
belief and
endurance.
trust in Him.
Yes, in his what?
Word.
You can't have fake joy with Yahusha because he can see you.
There isn't any such thing.
No,
People pretend it and do it,
Yeah.
but
it's not really.
it's not really. You can't. You can see and you can
Yeah.
feel from them. No, it's
Yeah.
not a real one. But you don't have to judge anyone. That's because that's what the leaders are saying. We're all going through this. We're all growing at different levels. So you've got to have understanding for the ones in the lower level. I think we have to have understanding for the ones in the lower level. You know who I think the lower level are? The teachers.
Yeah.
And people that can grasp this, there is no lower level.
No.
They have an understanding, they can see. And when a trial comes, you're just going to fall into it.
Yeah.
And then he wants us to prove ourselves
Yeah.
to him that we won't what?
Complain,
Yeah?
turn around, walk away, give up, faint. Do not faint. Stand, endure it, suck it up, get over it, wear it.
Well, when you know this, does it help you not to go off your head
It
Yeah.
does.
and be rude?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Satan just wants you to scream and carry on and manifest himself. Think of Job, what Job went through. He wouldn't double cross Yahusha.
Yeah.
So that's what he wants of us.
Yeah.
And we look at how we've been behaving, how we have allowed ourselves to behave, who we think we are, and what we say and do with our behaviour, and we're supposed to be representing Yahusha. And yet you can look and you can see that ain't the spirit. That's not the spirit, that behaviour. So you ask yourself, what have I been operating from who through?
Yeah.
And the answer is
Same.
Yeah, wicked spirits.
this has been my battle to to get through to you
Mm.
so that you can bring it through your word and your singing.
Yeah. Totally.
And there's been a big battle for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Big time.
You have to understand to stand singularly.
Mm.
Like Job did, he wouldn't double cross Yahusha, and that was his strength, that was his endurance. He built up his endurance.
Yeah.
And Job's, Yahusha said to Satan, you can do anything you want to him, but not kill him,
Mm. Yeah.
and you won't win.
Mm.
That's how Yahusha felt about Job.
Mm.
So what do you think he expects of us with this knowledge?
Be loyal.
For us to stand on his word and be as he was.
What do children do in the garden? What's the first word you think of?
Right?
Get dirty.
That's right.
Yeah.
So when we look at play,
Mm.
children play.
Yeah.
What have we been playing
Playing.
At.
at?
Playing at.
Say the question
What have we been playing at?
and put I there.
What have I been playing at?
Yeah.
Position, power, reputation. Nothing.
And do you think that way is going to work?
No, never.
So what's happened to you from this?
I've lost most of it. From this, it's really strengthened me actually, because I was one of those people that don't like things getting in the way of my day, that might interfere or be an inconvenience or map out things.
Mm.
Really, old people do. They map out every thing in their life so that everything's planned and there's no chaos in it and nothing goes wrong. I have everything sorted out, and if anything goes wrong, I just sometimes outwardly, inside, I just scream, and you can't do that with Yahusha, because he says he's going to put things in your way to see how you react to it, put you into trials. So it's really showed me.
Well, he allows certain things to come on us. We fall into a situation
Yeah.
which becomes a trial. It's not our fault
No.
because he loves us and he trusts us.
Mm.
But we fall into a trial.
Mm.
And he wants us to, he's always going to show us the back door or way out.
Mm.
But he wants us to go through it and endure it and not give in like Job didn't give in.
No.
He wants us to go through it. Now I can talk to you because I know that you'll tell the truth when you're confronted.
Yeah.
You might be angry or upset. I don't think you are now, are you?
No.
Right, so you can see how you've been behaving.
Yeah.
So I find this part of the table very quiet.
I find it really interesting because with a trial or something that's come on me, I've always tried to get out of it. I've always tried to find a way out or being angry.
Can you
at
find
that.
a way out of this?
And no,
Why?
because Yahushua wants me to go through with the right attitude.
And you've been thinking you're clever enough to figure a way
Yeah.
out of it so you don't have to.
Endure and go through.
And what happens to you when
I
you
just
do
get
that?
stressed and angry and I don't
Well,
learn.
that's your reaction
Yeah.
because you didn't do it.
Mm.
So what does Yahusha do in that situation?
Flogs me or puts more on me, puts another thing
No,
in
you
my
know, you know Hebrews 12.
Yeah.
He's not going to flog you. He wants you to grow up. So he's not going to flog you. You're not playing in the yard.
He stops.
This is real.
He cuts the connection.
That's it. What does that mean to you? He cuts the connection. What does that mean to you?
Basically makes you feel like you're dead.
Well, you do feel like you're dead because what?
He walked away.
Because our behaviours have caused it.
Wanting your own way. Trying to get out of the trial.
Yeah.
not being willing to go in and endure whatever he wants you to. So you're going to learn, you're going to get closer to him.
Yeah.
Why would you avoid it? And that dead feeling is what? We've been made more than conquerors. When you do that, what do you feel?
Joy lifted and
You notice yourself after singing that song, how high you were? Yeah? So, if you're not willing to fall into anything that he wants you to, you know how you'd like to get everything in order and have everything in order?
Yeah.
Is this order?
His order's better than ours.
Yeah, I know that. Thank you, it's wonderful. But how do you go? How do you get into a trial?
You fall into it.
So can you have all that? All your orders?
There's turns to.
So what does he want from you?
He wants
About your orders?
Oh, put that off and go through the trial. Yeah.
The quicker you
Do it.
see and do
Get
it,
back to.
you're out the back door. And you've got the experience.
Yeah.
But you're not wrong.
No.
I think you've all been thinking you're wrong.
yeah, I can see that.
So he wants us to grow, not play in the yard anymore. We've been playing in the yard. He wants us to grow
Yeah.
in endurance,
Yeah.
strength, and come to the place where we're responding, we hear him straight away. We can be willing to go into a trial. They're just going to come no matter what we do or say. But how have we behaved like kids in the yard? You can't have my ball anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
And toffle off and walk off. You see all the movies, they're all walking away, walking off from each other, leaving someone there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, once you realise that this is to make you stronger and mature and grow up, and you find yourself in a trial, you know what? Instead of thinking you're wrong, thinking and judging whoever put you in it, or because it might be someone else or whatever, you can go on in a trial. That's the whole purpose of this walk. I've been tested in trial. So that's really helped me.
I could say so many things that I've seen you all behave.
Yeah.
And you can see I'm not doing that. I don't want to do that,
Yeah.
you know? But it's up to you guys to realise, okay, I'm immersed, I've got his spirit, I know the way to behave, I know the Hebrews, I'm going to get zapped if I don't, and I'm fighting Yahusha. But this is different again. Do you see why this is the capstone? Can any of you think of a way out of this situation where you think, I'm not going to have any trials?
No,
No.
because he said he will do that for our endurance.
Well, when you fall into it, you're going to fall into all of a sudden you're going to be in a situation. There's always a way out through his. That's all right. So you put that in situations. 3 rules are a great help, but the word is so much more powerful when you look at this song, count it all joy.
Yeah.
And whatever you go through, you've got to count it all joy.
Yeah.
How can you go to a funeral and have joy? Is that the right behaviour?
According to society, no. But why can't you have joy?
Could you say show joy at a funeral in front of relatives?
Just have it
that-
inside you.
that- yeah, that's right.
It don't have to be
You don't have to flaunt it.
Yes, that's right.
Just have
be
it
as
inside
they
you.
are.
Just have it. There's no, once you know this and you start operating in it, there should be no situation. Look at the apostles, they were murdered, hung upside down, and they were still happy, and they were thrown in prison, and they were, instead of coming back upset, they came back rejoicing that way they were found worthy. So they obviously knew that him and this persecution or trial went hand in hand. Something that we've never grasped.
Yeah, and there's a test as well.
Yeah.
He's going to put you in a trial and test you. Test you what?
Endurance.
You believe.
Trust him. What he says, what he's putting.
To see if you will allow him to do that to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it wrong what he's doing?
No way.
No, he owns
Why
it.
isn't it wrong?
Well, his property.
Because we've given
Yes.
ourselves to him.
But did you have you?
No, I didn't completely.
No.
So what have you been going through?
Yeah, trials. Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say it's a trial, because once you realise, oh, he's going to do that to me, when you fall into it, it's just, you can't explain how it happened or why, you've just fallen into it. He wants to see your behaviour, how you're going to go through it.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Definitely.
Why aren't they telling everybody? The carpetbagging teachers.
Well, they don't tell them anything useful about their behaviour.
You notice that the mindset that we have is going in a different direction to what the carpetbaggers teach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just want the first principles. And knowledge. And books. No, this is going on down the path.
To those
I want it.
who want Yahusha,
Yeah.
he wants us a certain way. He wants us to be willing to do this. So this is why it's the capstone of all the teaching we've received from him. Is the capstone. There might be more to come too, but this is pretty cool. It shows you that you're not wrong.
Yeah.
And how many times is Satan putting it through your head, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong,
Yeah, whatever.
because you're doing what's right. But Yahushua wants you to go further and be willing to go into anything he's going to put you in.
Yeah.
And it can be hot, fiery,
Yeah. Yeah.
where you could
Yeah.
go off your head. How many times have you gone off your head?
I've lost count. I was keeping
Heaps
tally
of
for years,
times.
but I don't know. I lost count.
And what about all that dispersed energy? Where's that
Oh,
going?
it could go somewhere much more.
And then after it's over, how do you feel when you've done it?
Like a dog, used and kicked and
Because you've been tricked
yeah,
by the mentor on the shoulder.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Thinking I have the right to behave how I want.
What do you think about this, Lovey?
Well, I didn't know all of this before
Yeah.
at all.
It's only just being revealed.
Yeah.
We didn't know it like this until we get together. When we come together,
Yeah.
the power comes in.
Yeah.
You know? We just get together and sing, and there's all this power happening. Things are happening to people. People are changing. Things are going on. You know? People are feeling something.
The way you're explaining it and the way it comes now is showing how loving Yahusha is. Whereas before you feel it's, you know, there's been testing, trial, you know, there's been not trial, but there's been so much teaching and going through hard times. But now you see his love, because he's doing this for our endurance, doing for our own benefit, doing it to us and showing us that we can go through it with him. And
Isn't she wonderful, brothers and sisters?
but it's so different, because you always think you're wrong, something's wrong.
Yeah,
What have I
yeah.
done wrong? Where am I, you know?
Well, you haven't, have you? You've come through and you've done it, but you've been listening to the, you know, not seeking enough.
But this shows his compassion and his love, and you feel the love when he's saying, you know, just keep going and count it all joy, and this is going to happen to you. And he's showing you before it happens what's going to happen and how to be and all that. And that I've watched you go through trials and how you've handled them. I've got a gone crackers, and you've just hung on, explaining to me, and telling me and showing me, we just hang on here and we wait here and do this. And a lot of it's waiting, and that just drives me crazy, because I want the answer, I want to get there straight away. I want to get through something, you know. But a lot of these trials sometimes take years and months and to
They all come through, don't
endure. But then when it comes through, you just have this incredible feeling and understanding of what Yahusha's done for you. And you can see him so much more. You can see why and where he's taken you. That sort of thing.
That's right.
Yeah.
Aren't I lucky?
Stop it.
Yeah, it does show his love. That's why it's important for us all to get together like this.
Yeah.
Because even when I first read the article, I didn't get it like this.
Tell us.
Oh, I was
Come
furious.
on, tell us.
Ah, what's he written about me this time? Here we go.
You wrote it for
What
me,
have I done?
not
No, it
you.
wasn't for you. Oh, who's not going to make it? Oh, you're not going to make it. You're not going to make it.
Personal.
If you don't pass it, maybe you won't make it. Or maybe you won't make it, Christopher.
Well, I told you the story, brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
My brother's very, very sick. He's got just so many illnesses. And I was thinking about him, and I was thinking about Mark was having a bit of a problem, and he couldn't get himself out of it. And Yahusha said to me, your brother's having a trial. I said to him, are you really going to take him? And I haven't got an answer yet, just got to wait till he comes through his medications. And then I also thought about Marky going through his trial, how he was feeling. And then all this has come to a point tonight. So yeah, that's how it came through from the experience.
Yeah,
you know?
amazing.
So I have to go through my brother in that state with joy inside me, knowing that I'm leaving him in Yahusha's hands. If he takes him, I'm still going to have joy.
Yeah.
You know? So, I mean, it's very important that we keep the joy. And the joy means the dancing and the in your spirit and release to Yahusha, where nothing's going to complicate you with all sorts of wrong thoughts. And that's unbelief, really, isn't it? But when you see what Yahusha's on about, that we're going to fall into these things, and he wants to see how we're going to work our way out of it, endure it and go through it, and keep our joy.
Yeah.
Because joy is very important, isn't it? Didn't you do a thing on joy recently?
Yeah, rings a bell.
Joy, please. Probably the fruits, you went through them.
Fruits, yeah.
Something anyway.
You did one on joy. The joy of Yahuah is your strength.
Enjoy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Enjoy.
That was enjoy.
Enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing.
Fantastic.
Now everybody knows it. Going to be tested.
They're going to go through the trial.
But see, sometimes you might not know someone's going through a trial.
No.
Yeah, we know.
No.
It's between them and Yahusha, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's true.
Anyone want to say anything else? Sure.
I just love this topic. I just think it's great. So personal. From
You
the
feel
nature.
released?
Yeah, I was love it.
You need that.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. And that's what Satan says to everyone. You're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. Constantly you say, no, I've been immersed, I've got his spirit, I've been through the Hebrews 12, I'm going on, I'm moving on, and this capstone releases me to know that I'm right with Yahusha. I don't want to sin, I don't want to do wrong things, I've got his word in me, I want to please him. So that's all there for you to grasp and fight. No, I'm not having no. Say yes when you mean yes and no when you mean no. All the rest is from the wicked one. So you can have joy.
Whoa! What a story.
Okay, brothers and sisters, that's it. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for helping us work all this out. We love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Count it all joy.